you, I have to admit I'm not only excited but nervous because it is my first time speaking here. Um, I always find Celebrate Life to be such a warmly inclusive, smart, and encouraging community. Um, I just want to give my thanks to Truth and to James and to the board for the invitation. The thing is, I'm here to offer you all an invitation because you being here means you are aware already that there is more to this life than the survival focused daily activities. There's more going on than the mechanical aspect of life that boils down to get up out of bed, go do things so that you can go back to bed as safely and comfortably as possible, so that you can get up out of bed, go do things so that you can go back to bed as safely and comfortably as possible, and repeat, and repeat, and repeat. You are the kind of people who already get glimpses of intuition and have moments of synchronicity, of luck and hunches with uncanny outcomes beyond statistical likelihood. And things like interfering with electronics when you're excited, and dreams that come true, or you hear about heightened perception in others, and you can at least admit to its possibility. Well, I'm inviting you to enter into that possibility fully, with clear intention and the expectation of real events occurring for you and beneficial results. I invite you to enjoy your intuition and to explore it actively, without apology. Take your intuition out for a walk and use it as well, obviously, and of course, as you use your cell phone with the Wi-Fi turned on. Speaking as a person who's never had much choice about noticing my intuitive abilities, it's just like being someone who has a cell phone connected to a Bluetooth, connected in their ear, the earpiece in their ear with the Wi-Fi turned on. And it's a lot like being surrounded by people with cell phones connected to Bluetooth earpieces in their ears with the Wi-Fi turned down and the volume turned down low. And when a message or information gets through to them, most are like, I hear something. Sometimes I kind of feel like I know something sometimes, but it's probably just a coincidence. And now, especially since my psychic abilities, my intuitive abilities amped up, frankly, after the passing of my beloved husband, now I know and feel like saying, yeah, that's the earpiece with the Bluetooth in your ear, and you've got Universal Siri and Alexa. And even for me, I must increase my comfort level with this true normal, this connectedness, because it has been a traditional part of the prevailing society to downplay this part of ourselves, to turn that volume down, to dismiss it and the input of our senses to what is actually present all around us, but filtered out of our awareness all of the time. So I'm not here to tease you about not using your abilities more and already. Even for myself, I keep using the more acceptable, polite terms, intuitive abilities, about psychic abilities. These abilities are just the rest of you and the rest of me. And truly, I came here today to do more than tell you that it's possible and that you ought to be able to do more with them. So, I promise to give you some science to back it all up, because this is hardcore science. And you'll be able to say that to yourself and to anyone else when you're outside of your comfort zone, flexing, expanding these abilities. Or when you're still finding it all difficult to believe, but science does say so. And I'm going to share with you my favorite and easiest methods for activating your psychic abilities. And for those who are already using theirs, my favorite ways to expand them, to accelerate them, to supercharge them. So I want to say that I'm also going to tell you what you can do with them. I'll give you some fun you can have with them, some handy little uses to which you can put them, and 2 ways that you can change the future of this world and our place in the cosmos. I mean, big promises, but I'm saying that's okay. So you can watch and you can hold me to it and see if I follow through. And both of those last 2 things, in fact, all of these things will help you get better at using your psychic abilities for yourself right here at home. And on top of all of that, I've got a bonus for you. I'm calling it dessert. So on top of all that, I've got dessert for you at the end. Okay, so as to the science, surprisingly, I want to start by quoting the poet Hafiz of Persia. He lived in the 14th century, in the 1300s. And I am saying, as he said, well, the reason I'm doing this, as he said, it's because I wish I could show you the astonishing light of your own being. And even that is not just the lyrical thinking of poets. Albert Einstein said, matter is energy, energy is light. We are all light beings. That's all Einstein. He said, matter is energy, energy is light. We are all light beings. Try that on. Try repeating that to yourself in the mirror. In fact, in the mirror, in the bathroom, try this. See yourself as skin, muscles, and bones. That's easy to do. We're used to doing that. Then go beyond and see the skin, muscle, and bone as made up of molecules and atoms and cells. Even that you're used to doing, I suspect. I know I am. I'm a nerd, so okay, maybe that's just me. But I am used to, at least thinking of myself as my muscle, skin, and bone as being made up of a collection of cells, of atoms. But then go beyond that and see those atoms as made up of vibrant energy, of light, the light being you are. No joke. Say that a few times to yourself. And you will see and you will start to perceive yourself differently. A light being of universal energy in a sea, in a universe of energy all around you, but not just around you, within you. You are in the bathroom in the morning. You are a light being washing your face in molecules that are made up of light. You're washing your face with hydrogen, oxygen, water. You know that. And they are made up of vibrant energy. And this is important because you are indeed energy, and Einstein said so. You are the energy of the universe. You are a zone of universal energy that has a wonderfully distinct personality. It makes it seem like you are separate, but you are not. That is the science. This is not an opinion. Proof? Einstein said this: a human being is part of the whole called by us universe. He experiences himself, his thoughts and feelings as something separated from the rest, a kind of optical delusion. So Einstein said that our separateness, thinking that the universe is over there and we're over here, is a delusion. He then says, this delusion is a kind of prison for us. Our task must be to free ourselves from this prison. That's essentially your invitation this morning. That's your psychic homework from Professor Einstein. See yourself as the universe. And what's powerfully useful about this, best example, it makes it easier to manifest things, to operate the law of attraction. How? Because if you're asking the universe for something, who are you asking? It's like using your right hand to reach in to your left pocket for what you want. It's your hand and it's your pocket. Meditate on that. Nikola Tesla can help us with this. Do what he suggests. Another physicist. If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. It may help you to consider your intentions and your emotions and thoughts as frequencies affecting vibrations, affecting the universe in which you are. And I'm quoting these physicists because when you're walking around taking your intuition out for a stroll, it might help to remember that it's not just a philosopher or a poet who said this stuff. If someone asks you, so what are you doing? And you're like, I just manifested, something. And they're like, uh-huh. You get to quote them scientists. You get to remember for yourself, if you don't happen to, quote scientists offhand, you get to remember for yourself that it's scientists who said that. This is technically what they call post-materialist physics. This is us knowing that post-materialist physics apply and actually using them, walking around going, well, since this is true, this is what my life will look like, using the fact that I am the universe and the universe is me. Okay, more useful science, and I'll be quick about it. The total number of minds in the universe is 1. The physicist Erwin Schrödinger said this. To me, this is why empathy, telepathy, and mediumship work. Part of why we can feel what others feel is because we are one with them. Part of why I know when someone is thinking of me, or I even get a glimpse of what people who are close to me may be thinking, is because we are one. For me, mediumship works the same way. When I reach out to communicate with someone, I'm reaching out into the oneness, with oneness. And for a while, I'm very much consciously one with them. Okay, time constrains me to leave you with these scientific examples as food for thought. And even with those under your belt, you'll start to experience more of your universal access if you want to. So let's get to my favorite tools for activating your psychic abilities. Ask for your abilities. It's number 1. Ask for your abilities. I suggest that you think about how much you can take and your learning style. Then, since you've got Universal Siri or Alexa, pay attention for delivery. Just like if you've ordered from somewhere, that order might come via the US Postal Service, it might come via UPS or FedEx. The universe will deliver in the most energy efficient way. So pay attention. You'll go from your task being to believe it's possible and ask for things to looking out after having asked for things to see how they're being delivered, to see what tip or what clue you're getting. Okay. And the cool thing is, you can even ask the universe, what should I ask for? Where do I start? I love this. I love the universe. And here's the thing. Now that you're vibrating at a frequency of clear intention that knows per Professor Einstein, per Nikola Tesla, that this is real, that it's so real and so natural, it's science. Now that you're vibrating at a frequency of clear intention and knowing it's true, your results will be more consistent. So pay attention for your deliveries. Okay, meditate. That's the next one. Any way you can. Start with any way you can. Don't mind if, like me, when you try meditating at first, all you see are video games you usually play in your mind. The first times I started meditating, I would just see Tetris cubes falling and stacking up. I'm telling you the truth. Okay, about myself. So just start meditating any way you can. The real only job is keep it positive. My favorite way is to listen to the Om of my home. So listen to the Om of your home. That's the combined hum of all your appliances, of all of your surroundings, you know, the hum of traffic going by. Do it 15 minutes at a time, a few times a week if you can, whenever you can, even if it's only a couple of times a month. If you can do it daily, if you can do it twice a day, that's going to amp you up, supercharge you. And that's because it's like plugging in directly to your larger universal self. Okay. Thank you more, please. This is especially good once you've started using your intuitive abilities, if you've already got some that are showing up. This, I almost consider it a secret, but basically it's whenever an intuitive event happens, say, thank you, more please. Thank you, more please. It's almost like the manners your parents, hopefully parents taught you, come to your aid. Okay, and this is a secret. This is my secret. This is my absolute. See all with love. And then see all as love. Because with all the talk of energy, the truth, as far as I'm concerned, for which I deserve a Nobel Prize, thank you, is that love is the essential energy of the universe. And here's where, hand me my prize, please. Love is the true operating system of the universe. You've heard of Occam's razor. The simplest logical solution is usually the best. Here is Auschwitz razor. I came up with that 2 weeks ago, so don't mind me. Auschwitz razor. The simplest logical solution that includes love is usually the best. Add love and stir. Okay, what you can do with it. Put on your shoes and mask and be ready for the pizza guy. I order pizza and I can feel when the delivery is almost at my door. I get an irresistible urge to get into my shoes and put on my mask. Sometimes they say it'll be 45 minutes, but it gets there within 15 minutes. And they don't have to ring my front doorbell because I'm there. Ask for guidance. Ask for clarity. Ask for answers. I even get help with traffic. I even get help with parking spots. Business inspiration, health solutions and resources, artistic inspiration, mediumship, grief, getting to visit with family who have transitioned into non-physical, getting to see what it is around them, what other dimensions look like, premonitions, alerts, lucid dreaming, visits from interdimensional beings. I mean, I just said visits from interdimensional beings. I would not really dare to say that to you if I hadn't not only had visits from interdimensional beings who show up and say, did you write the story yet? But my dog chased one into the house, and I thought it was my imagination until the dog went charging after the little area of gray that had stopped by to visit. And um, the grief shifts, grief becomes more about missing your loved one's physical presence, but knowing they are fine and that they're having a blast. Getting flashing lights near you when you're on the right track. Getting flickers near you. Okay, you know something? There are apps. There are apps to play with. My favorite one is called ESP Trainer. It has 4 squares, and one is red, green, yellow, blue. You press the one you think will next light up. And if it lights up, it'll also show you an interesting picture. You'll get a bell, you get a ding, you get a buzz. If you get 12 right, if you get more than 12 right out of the 24 times you get each time you play, they actually ask you to call a phone number. My family has told me that I am not to call that phone number. This app was designed by Professor Russell Targ, and I believe it was financed by the CIA. So I'm not going to call them when I get more than 12 right. But you also get an image at the top of the screen. It'll say you're off to a good start. ESP ability present. Outstanding ESP ability present. Something like Oracle Sage. I could show it to you on my phone, but I don't want to run out of time. So maybe at the end I'll show it to you. But that's my favorite. There are other apps like remote viewing, tournaments you can enter. So there are things to do. Okay. And in case you were like me, raised to feel like having that much fun ought to come with a charge or a payment due, here's the thing. You can use this to change the world. You can join the 11 o'clock or the 11:11 o'clock global meditation for a joyful world. At 11 o'clock, across the world in different time zones, people are meditating things like joy for us all, abundance, prosperity. You can join like the same way I'm joining from a different time zone than the Pacific zone. You can do it a few different time zones. You can miss your time zone basically and be on time for the next time zone. They say that 1% of us doing this will change the world. What they call the Maharishi effect, resonance, harmonic resonance. It's just like when you, I don't know if you did this in school, it's an experiment where you add to water sugar crystals, and at first they just dissolve, but after a certain tipping point of the amount of sugar crystals you add, they start to crystallize together. It's the same principle. So you can use your abilities, you can practice being positive and being conscious that you are one with the universe and one with everything, to meditate and focus on world peace, joy, wellness, the health of the environment, abundant prosperity. Okay. And then there's something else you can do. You can join CE5 protocols. This is the cosmic piece. You can meditate. I want to get this right, so I'm going to read from my notes, okay? It's called the CE5 protocol. That stands for Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind, human-initiated contact with what I call our extended family elsewhere in the universe. By meditating and reaching out with peace and love consciousness, you end up seeing UFOs. You end up getting visits from interdimensional beings. You help demonstrate that humankind is evolved to the point where we are ready for complete first contact and our place in the cosmic community, and frankly, our place at the grown-up table in the universe. And it just so happens that it will improve your psychic abilities. So by doing this, it's good for you and good for the planet and good for the cosmos. A universal coincidence? I call it one of love's elegant equations. Doing truly wonderfully right by you equals doing truly wonderfully right by all. Did I mention I would like my Nobel Prize, please? Okay, because that is truly the operating system of the universe. Love as the operating system of the universe. And if you wonder why things go sideways, because we are so loved that we also have free will, so there you go. Okay, because this is you, it is also in keeping with Professor Einstein's homework, as I call it. This is your mission if you care to accept it. To continue what he said, to complete that quote, our task must be to free ourselves from this prison by widening our circle of compassion to embrace all living creatures and the universe, and the whole of nature in its beauty. I'm glad I got that wrong. That's a perfect little synchronicity, because it means I get to reread that to you. So, as Einstein said, our task must be to free ourselves from this prison by widening our circle of compassion to embrace all living creatures and the whole of nature in its beauty. And the bonus, now for dessert. If you are a loving, kind person, then you are operating on the frequency of the universal operating system, love. And so, activating your psychic abilities, accelerating them, is that much easier. And if you are a loving, kind person, if you are an LGBTQIA plus being, BIPOC, Black, Indigenous person of color, differently abled, neurodivergent, if you are an ally, if you're an advocate for the earth and for conscious evolution for all of us, then you are already familiar with standing up for something that's true, for standing up for what's true about you. Don't mind me. And you're already used to standing up for being your true self in the face of people not getting it, people not understanding. Just like you having your psychic abilities and people not getting it and not understanding that it's natural, and it's natural for them too. And that means that when it comes to accepting all of who you are and embracing yourself and others with compassion, you already know the terrain. You actually know what that feels like in your body, what that frequency is in your body and mind. And so, activating your psychic abilities, accelerating them, is all that much easier. And I tell you frankly that if you are coming from that position, you're the kind of people who need to activate their psychic abilities. In whose hands can I trust that more? So this is my teaching and my mentoring. This is my invitation to you. It's actually a preview, a free preview to you of my book that the universe has told me, Ousset, will you please write? And I'll be giving it away pretty much for free, by the way. So this is not even an advertisement, okay? But this is also in keeping with our ancestral knowledge from every inhabited continent. In ancient Sanskrit, the phrase is Aham Brahmasmi. I am the universe and the universe is me. This is thousands of years old. The animists of Africa, of Europe, of Asia, of every inhabited continent, they've been saying for the longest, and quashed by other religions, that there is consciousness in everything, that the universe is alive, that we are one with everything. And I'd like to finish, and I hope I haven't gone over you guys, with a couple of more phrases, quotes. This one, I love Einstein, but this is what he said. Nail this down. The intuitive mind is a sacred gift, and the rational mind is a faithful servant. It's time to start using our faithful servant to work and offer and share and expand our sacred gift. Okay. He said, we have created a society that honors the servant and has forgotten the gift. So remember that your intuition is a sacred gift. And Einstein said so. And this, from the elder Black Elk, the indigenous leader, Black Elk. The first piece, which is the most important, is what is, thank you, universe, for making me have to repeat it. From Black Elk, the first piece, which is the most important, is that which comes within the souls of people when they realize their relationship, their oneness with the universe and all its powers. And when they realize that at the center of the universe dwells the Great Spirit, and that this center is really everywhere, it is within each of us. And this, just to send you on your way, from George Washington Carver. I learn what I know by watching and loving everything. Thank you, light beings. Thank you. Celebrate life. Thank you for allowing me to share with you and having me here today.
Thank you.